All right, second graders, it is time for the rainbow tree painting project. So what we're going to be doing first for this project is we're going to be doing our trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of you may be able to fit 7. We'll draw them together. I'll try to fit 7 today to show you my best way to do it. So I'm just using a white paper here. If I'm doing 7 trees, I need to find the middle of the paper. So I'm going to put a dot right where I think the middle is. And then I'm just going to use my Sharpie and I'm going to draw a very skinny tree branch and trunk. I'm not going to go crazy with the branches right now until I can know if I can fit all 7 on. So I need to fit 1 in the middle. That means that I have to have 1, 2, 3 on this side and 1, 2, 3 on this side. The good thing about this is I can change how tall they are. So if I know I have to fit 3 here, I need to find the middle again. I'm gonna find the middle here. I'll do this one a little bit shorter. And I'll make it just a little wider down here at the bottom where the trunk is. And maybe since I'm over here, I'll go back to this guy. All right, now I need to fit 2 more here. But Mrs. Hopkins is gonna go a little bit crazy if she doesn't have some symmetry. So I found the middle here. I'm gonna go to this side. I'm gonna find the middle again and put a dot. That's a better dot. This one I'll also make a little bit shorter. And I'm trying to fit 7. I only have 3. 1, 2, 3. How many more do I need to get to 7? That's right, 4. Thank goodness you didn't say 5. I would be very concerned. You can see the spaces where I'm gonna need to fit the next ones. The first one I'm gonna have to do a little bit taller. I'll try to fit him taller, this guy taller, and this guy. So I've got my shorter trees here. The first one I'm gonna go up to here before it branches out. I need to make it a little bit wider towards the base. And then I can kind of split it as I see. And I can make this one a little bit thicker too. I mean, I've got some space. Maybe this one can go taller this way. And of course, off the page, you always have room. I have to fit 1 here as well. So this looks like the middle. He might be the tallest so far. Right now, I'm just doing straight lines for the branches. And I'm making them a little bit wider at the bottom of the trunk. And we're using a permanent marker right now. If you're trying to use a Crayola marker, it just won't really work because if you get them wet when we paint, they will totally bleed and you'll have black marker residue all over your paper. So I'm just using a permanent marker that I got from Amazon. All right, I have 2 more spaces. I need to fit 1 tree here and 1 tree here. I think we can fit them if we're really careful. I'm gonna make this one taller again, kind of angle it off to this side. I'm gonna make sure all my branches touch. And then I'll make it a little bit thicker towards the bottom, just like a real tree. Maybe one over there. And you know, why not? Just, ooh, that one made a little bit funny. Oh, you know what Bob Ross says? No mistakes, only happy accidents. I'm working with a permanent marker. There's no erasing, I just gotta go with it. So since he's a little wider, we'll just make him a little bit of a wider tree. Maybe he's the oldest tree in the forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay, we have room for number 7. Now, boys and girls, it's a good idea to practice with pencil your spacing before you commit to the marker. Some of you might really only be able to do 6, and that's okay. I'm gonna add my branches here, and again, make the bottom a little bit wider. All right, so there's my basic tree branch shapes. Now, you can stop here for your first day. That might be fine. Depending on time, I might say, okay, you guys can get a little fancy. If you want to curl some of your branches, to make them a little bit more whimsical. Maybe you want to add some creepy branches or just some funky branches. You can add curls. Since I started to, I kind of have to finish. And we're just using our permanent markers very carefully. Just double checking to make sure everything looks nice. I'm not making every single one curly, just a few. Helps draw the eyes to it. I think it makes it look a little bit interesting. And if you do it exactly the same as somebody else, where's the fun in that? This one kind of looks like a heart. All right, and there we have it. Just a couple more interesting things. All right, I'm gonna do a fast paint. Let's talk temper cakes. Here they are. Boys and girls, when we're painting this year during distance learning, everybody's gonna have their own water cup and their own brush, but we are gonna share the paints at the table. Here's the deal, no hands on the paint. I put them out, I'm the art teacher, I touch the paint, you don't touch the paint. Thumbs up if you understand. Yeah, no, I do have my nails done. Thank you for noticing, they do look really pretty. All right, boys and girls, so like I said, you're gonna have your own brush, your own water cup. You're gonna have tiny water cups. I was already painting for some demos today, so my water's a little bit dirty. You'll probably have a paper towel there to clean up any messes, and I might spray your tables down with some water to clean up any paint that you have that goes off the lines. Let's talk rainbow order, shall we? This only has 6. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. I don't have my indigo color in here. So I have a couple options here. In your wonderful tempera cakes, you have a red, orange, and yellow. Those are your warms. Then you have a green, and we have 2 blues. Everybody say, woohoo! I didn't hear you. You'll have to try again next time. After green, for our class, we're gonna jump to this turquoise blue. It's our lighter blue. This darker blue is going to be our indigo color. If we had 7, and then we'll go to violet. We aren't gonna do magenta. We're gonna leave magenta alone, and we're not gonna use the pink. So if you follow my directions in the live class, you'll be fine. So let's get painting. I'm starting with red. ROYGBIV. That's what the R is. Your tempera cakes are pretty bright. I'm just gonna be painting just over top a little red space. Don't go too far to where your orange tree would be. Now we're gonna do our orange tree. I'm just gonna go right up against the red for whatever shape you need it to have. Don't go too far down. They're all gonna have a funky different shape, kind of ovally or round. Now I'm going to, what color? I hope you said yellow. Here's my yellow. It goes right up against the orange. If you have colors that are bleeding into each other, it's okay. You can always touch them up later. What's our middle color going to be, everybody? Green. That's right. Now I know I'm going fast. You do not need to go that fast. Paintbrushes always stay up on their toes. You never scoot them around on their bottoms. No, they're just like a ballerina. If you scoot around on her bottom, she's gonna get fired, okay? That's not what a ballerina does. My next color is going to be our blue color today. So that's gonna be that lighter turquoise blue that you guys have in your palette, not the dark blue, okay? This is my lighter blue that I'm using for our blue today. And I have a funky shape, so I have to kind of go around and then down just a little bit. This is my blue. The tempera cakes are a little bit interesting because if you get the colors really dark, because of what they're made out of, you sometimes can't see the Sharpie very well. Now is the time I'm going over to our darker blue that's gonna use for our indigo today. The darker blue. So this one is gonna be a smaller one. It's gonna be kind of triangular shaped. I might make it a little bit taller. And then finally, our V in ROYGBIV, our violet. So we'll start on our trees, If we have enough time to get this done on your first day of art, it's a possibility. We might have to break this down into 2 or 3 weeks, depending on our classes and our schedules. So the next thing we're gonna be doing is matching up the bottom. And you can do whatever order you want to. I'm just gonna work backwards since I had purple. So I'm gonna do a little purple here. This is my violet, remember? I can call it purple too. And right before it switches over to indigo, I'm gonna switch that color with my brush. When I'm cleaning, remember, I'm wiping it on the edge. I don't need a ton of water in the indigo because there's already a lot there. So this section all the way about till here. And again, down here, it's okay if the colors kind of bleed into each other. That's what's fun. The tempera cakes kind of act like watercolors. They kind of just blend right into each other. But they're very easy for Mrs. Hopkins to clean, and that's why we're using them. Plus, they last forever. They're a great supply for all the art teachers to have. I cannot recommend them enough. Love tempera cakes. This isn't sponsored, but if you wanted to get them, they're from Richson, Richeson. I think I got these on Amazon. And they're great because you can replace them. As soon as they run out, you can just put a new circle of color in them. All right, now I'm going over to my yellow. I'm really making sure my brush is clean before I switch over to that color. And I'm gonna have my yellow. The yellow is funny. I definitely noticed that it covers over the Sharpie a little bit and it bleeds really well into the green. So some of those lighter colors definitely blend on top of Sharpie, they show up. So be careful, you don't wanna go on top of your Sharpie too much. And finally, my last color, going backwards in the rainbow, would be red. Awesome, and the part of our picture that is painting is all done. The next part we're gonna be adding is the swirls, okay? So we're gonna be grabbing our crayons or grabbing our markers and doing swirls. This one was done with crayon, but I don't have crayons at my table today. I have some markers, so let's see what it looks like with marker. Crayon would be fine. I need to find red. We're gonna be adding some swirls. I'm gonna show you how to do the red swirl. I call these cinnamon bun swirls. I kind of love them with the marker because you get a nice sharp point. You could do this with colored pencil and you can draw right on top of the Sharpie and there's no problem. Let's think about where the color switches over to orange. So anything above red, right in here. I should not be doing orange in this section yet. It's still just above the red on the ground. And you can have different colors. It's kind of like the letter 6, but it doesn't close up on itself. And those are my little swirlies. I'm gonna show you how we transition. So if I'm using a marker, just make sure that you click it. Listen. Oh, I love that sound. Gotta love when the marker clicks. And of course, here's my orange. We'll do a quick demo of orange, and then I'm gonna do all the colors and go really fast to finish this video up. So as you can see, before I hit the yellow, I'm switching up my colors. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and speed this video up so you guys can see what it should look like when it's done. And that's it for your painting. Now, one thing that you might notice if you are using the markers, I did have a lighter color marker in my marker. I have this electric blue, so that's what I use for this color here. However, you might not have that. So you might only be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. So you have to look at what you have in your crayons and markers, or we might just skip that part altogether. So I know you guys are gonna do a great job. Don't forget, always sign your name. When you're all finished, I'm using a permanent marker here. I can't wait to see your wonderful rainbow forests. Good job, guys.